Well, it's actually a nice day today. It's not pouring down or blowing a gale, and it's not cold either. I've had a load of pallet wood stacked up behind the shed here, and I'm going to look at making a fence panel and the gate for the bottom of our plot at the bottom of our garden. And yeah, we'll see how that goes, eh? Well, I must say that went extremely well, except somebody forgot to film the first bit. What an absolute dick. Okay, so as I might have mentioned, this is a job that I started doing yesterday. This is the back of our plot, and it leads to an alleyway which is also gated off, but it's about time we had a fence and a gate here. So firstly, with the help of John, who runs a groundworks, fence and gardening business, he's on here a lot. We put this fence post holder in, bolted it to the ground, and then I had this post that I've got a few of these that I acquired for nothing, and managed to bolt it in there, and it's nice and rock solid. This was a gate that had been given to me, an old gate. So I like to reuse things if I can, and obviously it cost me no money. So what I did was, these slats, I knocked a few off at the end here, and this was sticking out. So I cut it with the bow saw, so it was just at the end of the post. Did the same here. I took one of the slats off and screwed it to the post, and I used 2 screws on each end. Used these 3-inch screws. Wanted to make sure it was going to go nowhere, and it's, as you can see, it's nice and solid, really good. So, but first, all this ground down here, the guy who lived here previously had buried all this wire meshing into the ground, and there was barbed wire and everything. It was quite dangerous really for animals, and I think he'd put it in to keep his dog out. Yeah, it was a bit of a botched job. I'm not saying I'm the best, but he makes me look like a craftsman. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with it today, and the idea now is to put a gate. I'm going to make a gate out of the pallet wood that I've got stacked over here. I bought all the hinges and fittings yesterday. I couldn't get a basic gate latch because I want to utilise this metal post that's in the ground, because it's rock solid, it's not going anywhere. And I'll clear the ivy away when the weather gets a bit better, and I'll repaint it black, and it should look alright. But yeah, I wanted to get an old, the old latching style here, but I couldn't get them anywhere. I went to different hardware stores, but I've come up with something else which should actually be stronger. Anyway, you'll see that later. I also forgot to mention that I had to remove a section of hedge from this bit here, just so as I could get the panel in there. And of course, all that wire mesh that I mentioned before, that was all buried away, and it came up to about 2 or 3 foot high. That was in the way, so that all had to come out. So we'll just crack on and see how we go. Okay, so I've measured everything up, and I've been using a chop saw to cut a couple of battens, a top batten and a bottom batten, and then now I'm starting to put the slats on. So we'll see how that goes. Horrible windy day. Okay, so now I started nailing it all together. They're roughly spaced about 1 inch and 3/4 between each hole. Yeah, I only tacked one side so I can move them here, and there's a 4-inch overhang this side and a 3 3/4 overhang that side. Yeah, 1 3/4 inch. Couple them out. Just do the same here. inch and 3/4 gap, same as at that end. Again, I'm not an expert at this, you know, I'm not saying it's completely accurate, but it looks alright. I'm recycling old pallet wood, which is great. Okay, measure this last one now. This is slightly out, 1 3/4 inch, and about 2 inch there, but d.i.y with no clothes on can't tell. Right, now just put some more in that side and we're good to go. Okay, so now I've just flipped it over and I'm going to put the hinges on either side. There and one there. Okay, so as you can see, now I've got the hinges on. Ready to try and get it down there. Let's see how we go. So there you go, that's the whole job completed. There wasn't that much swearing in the end. So hinges on, and my rather clever little latch invention works using what was already there. That bit there is acting like a stopper, so the fence won't go any further. The gate, sorry. So the gate won't go any further, and then that latch just goes nicely through the little hole there, and yeah, I have to use my own screws. The ones they gave you for that latch were terrible. They were like they were made of chocolate. So yeah, not too bad. Bottom hinge is slightly out, but I'm going to blame that on Stevie Wonder. He did that one. Anyway, considering it was a load of scrap wood that was going nowhere, the whole thing's cost me about 15 quid for the post holder, the hinges and the latch. Everything else I had, just a little bit of time, a tiny bit of swearing. I'm quite happy with it anyway. Opens no problem. Easy to close, not having to lift the gate or anything. And from this side, it almost looks like somebody who knows what they were doing has done it. But yeah, that'll have to do to the best of my ability. Job done. Okay, so just a little update. I decided to extend the battening that runs down the gate post where I attach the hinges, because recently we lost our little dog Patch, aka Mr. Snooky, the star of Weathering the Storm Armin video. Yeah, he sadly left us a couple of weeks ago, poor old boy. So yeah, depending on how big our new dog's going to be, if it was really small, I'll need to drop the gate just to get rid of some of that gap, and putting that extra battening in has given me the opportunity to do that, and it's only going to strengthen the fence anyway. Job done again. And by some strange coincidence, I've ended up with a little tribute to my mate CP, the growler. Cool, I bet he's laughing at me up there. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little video about me tidying up my back passage. See you next time. Ta-da.